don't do this with MSI Mode Utility version 2. Blue screen? Hey guys, this is the Dave stuff here, and I'm going to go through something that I think is very important if you are tweaking your system using MSI Mode Utility version 2. First, there's a lot of settings in here that you can go in and start tinkering around. And there's some things that you shouldn't be tinkering with because you risk blue screening. Which settings are those? I'll get to that in a second. First, the setting on this screen may differ, and actually will differ compared to your PC. A lot of this has to do with you could have an Intel or an AMD processor, an Intel or AMD motherboard. Could have to do with your hard drives, your solid state drives, your NVMe drives, your video card drivers or video cards, your network cards, wireless cards, Bluetooth, audio, USB, power savings. There's a lot of things in here, and you may only see a fraction of this. I have an Intel 9900K system, which I'm recording from right now, which has a fraction of this. But there are some things that I'd suggest not to check in here. Now, there's not really a big deal of checking the MSI section here where it's unchecked. If it's in a negative IRQ, that means it's pretty much in MSI mode. If it's a positive value, then it's not in MSI mode. So that's a little bit of a tip here. But there's some settings that you can modify, specifically limit. Unless you know what you're doing, don't change this value at all. Why? Because it may have to do with your PCI lane availability or the way that the connections are set up on your system. If you go over this value, you risk blue screening. And as you can see in another video where I talked about going through the auto repair and the recovery, you're going to have to go through those settings and find out where they are, what you changed, and how to switch them up. That's going to be my hint on where to go to fix this, because otherwise it's going to be a total reinstall of Windows. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you cannot get in, you will not be able to get into safe mode with this. You change these settings, and if it becomes unbootable, you're going to have to get your USB thumb drive and boot off of that. Or if you can get into recovery mode without the thumb drive, you will still need to get into the registry settings, or worst case scenario, you got to load your RAID drivers and get in there and find the setting, which is a royal pain in the butt, but it's in there. And by the way, it's in current control set system. So that's a hint, and you're gonna have to look for MSI or message interrupt, something along those lines. But this setting here is critical. If you don't know what you're doing, do not change it. If you're looking into this, look online for some research on what to change. But these are set by your drivers, and as long as you have the correct drivers installed, your system will boot up and ideally will be displaying the appropriate settings. Now, can you go under them? Maybe. I've only experimented going over them, and guess what? 9 times out of 10, it's a blue screen. Don't do it. Supported modes, this just helps you understand if it's MSI capable or not. You're going to see this generally on newer systems, and the interrupt priority, you can set this. Now, a lot of the settings are going to be set to undefined. If you change the high priority, like typically your hard drives or SSDs, NVMe drives, that kind of thing, that's going to be set to high. NVIDIA, for some reason, by default, does not have MSI mode enabled. Check it. Put it on high. you know, because it's important, especially if you're gaming and you want that lower interrupt response time or better system performance. That's what you want. I've had mixed results checking MSI mode with audio controllers. Sometimes it gets flaky and just doesn't want to boot. Sometimes it gets crackly, so I just leave it and unchecked and I don't even touch the priorities, like whatever. But everything else, you know, just leave it as is. Does it make sense? So again, bottom line, if you can get anything out of this, don't touch the limit mode unless you know what you're doing. Otherwise, you risk blue screening, you risk making your system unbootable, unrecoverable, and basically reinstalling Windows from scratch. Alright guys, I hope this video has helped you, and let me know in the comments, does this make sense to you? Have you ever experimented with the limit settings? I'm not encouraging you to do that. I just want to know if you have and what kind of results you've had, or if you've seen the same results as me. So if you like this video, give me a like. If you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. And until then, take care, be well.